Have you ever wondered what people did all day before jobs existed? No offices, no emails, no alarms, no meetings, no bosses. Sounds like a dream. Imagine waking up 20,000 years ago. There is no bed, no house, no phone waiting beside you. You open your eyes inside a cave or a simple shelter made from animal skins, branches, and wood. The first thing you notice is the temperature. Ancient humans paid close attention to the weather because their survival depended on it. A cold morning could mean danger. Heavy rain could ruin plans for the day. And a nearby predator could turn an ordinary morning into a life or death situation. Nature itself was their forecast. The sounds of birds, the movement of animals, the shape of clouds. Every detail mattered. After waking up, there was no breakfast waiting in the kitchen. Some members of the group would search for edible plants, roots, nuts, berries, and fruits. Others might track animals for hunting. Depending on where they lived, they could spend hours gathering resources. Finding food wasn't guaranteed. Some days were successful, others were not. Imagine spending hours searching only to return empty-handed. That happened more often than people think. Once food was found, another challenge began. Preparing it. Ancient humans had to do everything themselves. Animals needed to be butchered. Plants needed to be cleaned. Wood needed to be collected for fire. Every meal required effort. Fire played a huge role in daily life. Without fire, survival became much harder. Provided warmth, protection, light, and a way to cook food safely. Keeping a fire alive was often a daily responsibility. In some environments, losing a fire could be a serious problem. Creating a new one wasn't always easy. That's why many groups carefully protected their flames. But ancient life wasn't only about finding food. Humans are social creatures, and they always have been. A large part of the day involved interacting with others, talking, teaching, sharing stories, making plans, watching children, solving problems. The social bonds within a group were essential for survival. A person alone had little chance of surviving for long. A group could hunt more effectively, protect each other, care for the sick, and raise children together. In many ways, cooperation became humanity's greatest superpower. Children had very different lives from modern kids. There were no classrooms, no homework, no exams. But that didn't mean they weren't learning. In fact, children learned constantly. They watched adults. They copied skills. They practiced using tools. They learned which plants were safe to eat, which animals were dangerous, and how to navigate the environment. Most learning happened through observation and experience. Every day became a lesson. As children grew older, they gradually took on more responsibilities. They weren't separated from adult life. They were part of it. Another major activity was tool-making. Ancient humans spent significant time creating and repairing tools. Stone knives, spears, needles, scrapers, fishing equipment. These tools made survival easier. A broken spear might mean losing a hunting opportunity. A dull knife could make food preparation much harder. Because of this, maintaining equipment was an important part of daily life. People also created clothing. This was especially important in colder regions. Animal hides needed to be cleaned, softened, and stitched together. Making clothing could take many hours. Without proper protection from the cold, survival became difficult. When people imagine prehistoric humans, they often picture constant danger. And yes, dangers existed. Predators, harsh weather, injuries, disease. But life wasn't one endless emergency. There were moments of relaxation, moments of laughter, moments of fun. Evidence suggests that ancient humans enjoyed music. Simple instruments have been discovered that are tens of thousands of years old. Imagine sitting around a fire at night. Someone begins playing a primitive flute. Others tell stories. Children laugh. People share experiences from the day. In many ways, it doesn't sound so different from families gathering together today. Storytelling was especially important. Before books, before television, before the internet, stories were how knowledge survived. Stories taught lessons, explained dangers, passed down traditions, and helped groups maintain their identity. The ability to share information across generations became one of humanity's greatest strengths. As evening approached, the pace of life changed. People prepared for darkness. Unlike today, darkness brought real challenges. There were no streetlights, no flashlights, no electricity. The fire became the center of activity. Its light offered comfort and safety. Groups stayed close together. Beyond the firelight, the night could be unpredictable. Strange sounds echoed through the darkness. Predators moved silently. The stars filled the sky. For ancient humans, the night sky must have been incredible. With no light pollution, every star was visible. The Milky Way stretched across the heavens in breathtaking detail. Many people probably spent time observing the sky and wondering about the world around them. Questions that still fascinate us today. Where did we come from? What are those lights above us? What happens after death? Curiosity didn't begin with modern civilization. It has always been part of being human. Eventually, people went to sleep. Not because an alarm told them to. Not because they had work in the morning. But because another day of survival had ended. Then the cycle would begin again. Food, fire, family, learning, cooperation, survival. So what did ancient humans do all day before jobs existed? The answer is simple. They did the work of staying alive. But they also did something more. They built friendships, raised families, told stories, created tools, made music, explored the world around them. In other words, they lived. Their lives were harder than ours in many ways. Yet they were deeply connected to nature, their communities, and the people around them. And perhaps that's why this question is so fascinating. Because when we look at ancient humans, we're really looking at ourselves. Separated by thousands of years, but still human. And maybe, just maybe, not as different as we think. If you enjoyed this journey into the distant past, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. Would you rather live one week as an ancient hunter-gatherer or keep your modern life? Thanks for watching.